Most businesses fail within the first 3 years. Over half of all businesses created fail within the first 3 years from the statistic done by the Small Business Administration. Well, we just accomplished year 3 in Varnes Media. So here's 6 of my biggest regrets that I really wish I would have learned sooner. The first mistake that I regret is not investing into myself enough. And what I mean by this is I would have much rather have spent $500 on a new piece of equipment over spending $500 to go get a mentorship or to some specific networking event. I actually just went to my first ever paid for conference like a month ago. Alex Ramosi has this thing called the SME 500, which essentially is him saying instead of putting money into the S&P 500 to invest into yourself to improve your skills. It's this thing called skill stacking. It basically goes like this. You're good at math, great. Maybe you become a teacher and you're making X amount of a salary. But what if you skill stacked and learned accounting on top of that math? Suddenly your salary increases. What if you took that accounting skills and looked to specialize to work with specific businesses in a specific type of tax? It's the same concept of math, but you've just stacked those skills and obviously your income has stacked as well. So that's one of my big regrets, is that I didn't invest into mentorships. I didn't invest into going to conferences. I didn't really invest into myself. Instead, I was focused on investing into the company as in equipment and studio build outs. And it's not like those were bad things. It was much better than me just going on a spending spree and buying a bunch of clothes or something. But I could have put more of a focus onto the actual learning and education of myself. I love YouTube, but sometimes you need somebody that can sit down and look specifically at your business and help solve those problems with you. The second one is honestly going to be a pretty hot topic on everything, and it's pretty controversial, but it's actually over-trusting. I will be completely honest that in the first couple of years of business, I've been burned a multitude of times by over-trusting into individuals of which I never got paid for or work never got done, to where the trust was obviously broken. So a couple red flags I would look for so you don't get potentially burned like I did. First one is if they are calling you throughout the day or multiple times during the week and just the middle of the day, that means that they have nothing else to do, which is not a good sign. The second one is that if you're younger, specifically for me, I was 19, 20, 21 years old trying to figure everything out, and I'm still figuring everything out. But I wish I could have taken a step back and thought, why do these 35, 45, 50-year-old type individuals wanting to work with me? At the time, I thought, oh wow, I'm a young superstar. They must really see the value in me. And yes, they see the value in you, but they see the potential ticket that they can hop onto for future profits without putting much effort in usually. So ask yourself before you start getting into stuff, think about the reasons that they would want to be doing business with you over somebody their own age where they're probably more successful. It's a hard truth, but it's fact. And that doesn't mean that everybody older than you is out to get something from you, because I have a ton of people that have mentored me and have looked out for me along my path. But here's the difference, is that they were more focused on what I was doing as a business and trying to give advice over trying to collaborate and do something together. They didn't care about doing something together. They had their own things to get done. And when we did things together, they made sure that I was paid for, as well as just having an overall great experience working. I'm actually going to do a more in-depth video on key people to look out for while you're growing in business and key people you should try to have in your corner. But that's for a later date. Number 3 is buying the studio too early. So I don't regret buying the studio because I love it and it has worked out great for me. But looking back now, I definitely jumped into that decision way too early. And that's something that I would look out for if I were you, is making these big life decisions and kind of doing this impulse purchase. It worked out well for me, but it could have gone horribly wrong. I'm in a 3-year lease. Think about if I didn't find the right location and suddenly I'm stuck here for 3 years in a terrible location. It could have been really bad, in all honesty. So before you make that big company purchase to where it is going to be a couple $1,000s, could be $10,000. I mean, I spent over $10,000 on this place, and that doesn't even include rent every month. But please think about all of the bad that could happen when you make that purchase. Obviously, you're going to think about all the good because you're going to be dreaming and exciting, but most people don't think about everything bad that could happen. I've definitely made a couple purchases that I highly regret. I have easily spent over $5 grand worth of equipment that I will never use. And should never have bought. Next big mistake is overloading myself and spreading myself too thin. This is something that I struggle with every single day because it is just an issue of mine of trying to overplease. I will overpromise. I will say, yeah, I can get that done by Saturday for you, knowing dang well that I'm not going to get it done. I have a shoot on Friday, a shoot Saturday morning, and an event on Thursday. So quit overpromising. Another thing that falls under this is doing work with friends to try to get whatever their business, startup, creation going as well. They'll see you and be inspired, and they want you to be a part of it too, and y'all can grow together, and that sounds great. But you can only juggle so many things at one time. So if you're trying to grow your thing right here and you're trying to grow your friend Johnny's business right here, something is going to give. So I'm a part of 2 different companies right now, and I struggle every day doing this juggling act going from business to business. If you're just getting started and trying to figure it out, you're in your first couple of years, not a good idea to try something else. The 5th mistake that I made was not taking enough time to work on my business. So I understand when you get started in business, you are running, just trying to keep up with the pace. You have so much to do, so much to get done, and honestly, it's a great thing that you're busy because that means your business is doing good. But you need to start thinking, what is getting you from A to B is not going to get you to C. So unless you want to keep working these 17-hour days and working every single weekend and burning yourself into the ground, I really wish that I had taken a step back and looked more at my numbers, looked more at my margins, looked more at how my client retention was going. So here's my advice: take 30 minutes, an hour a week, and just think about, what tasks do I need to get done to grow the business? There's a lot of days to where I will get up at 5 a.m. I'll be in the studio by 5:45, and I'll be sitting at my computer or on the phone the entire day, and I'll go home at 8 p.m. and I'll go right to bed. And someone actually told me that yes, on those days you're working on your business and you're in the grind and you're getting work done, but your business improvements aren't being made on those type days. So just a train of thought. But here's honestly the biggest regret that I have. And this one hits pretty hard. And the last one, honestly, it is not believing in myself. It's super cheesy. I completely understand it. I know you're rolling your eyes right now. I really just wish somebody in high school or middle school or, younger, somebody told me that I can go my own path if I want to. That the only thing that matters is honestly the work and the effort that you're putting in to build whatever thing you're trying to build. The reason that I'm just now sitting here recording myself is because I've been thinking that I've been a fake since the beginning. I've been thinking I can't give any sort of value because I don't know what I am doing. And that is the case because I'm still figuring everything out and don't know what I'm doing. So this honestly just comes from like an insecurity of thinking that I have a specific ceiling, of which in society is a lot of times the case. But it's not. It's whatever you want to put your mind to, you can do it. Well, maybe I should take that back because obviously I wanted to be an athlete and that didn't work out. But you get what I'm saying. If you like this video, like and subscribe. And next video, I'll be going into more detail of the things that I have so far failed in.